Fast forward to the year 2049. TC49 is being held on the slopes of Olympus Mons on Mars. The BI world has been taken over by robots and AI. Vizzes are automatically created, and manually installing Tableau servers is a thing of the past. Tableau is now on every single device, and the Philadelphia Eagles have just won their 27th straight Super Bowl, thanks to the heavy use of analytics. While we don't know if robots and AI will take over the world, or if TC49 will be on Mars, we do know that automation can help you today. My name is Emiliano Colosimo. I'm a principal architect, part of the professional services team at Tableau. I've been in the and I help customers implement their Tableau strategies with technical and strategic guidance. I've been in the BI world for about 16 years, and out of 7 of those, I've been at Tableau. And let me tell you, I love this product so much. As a matter of fact, it was love at first sight for me. I applied to Tableau to get a job at Tableau 90 minutes after I downloaded my first Tableau desktop trial.
That must be some kind of a record here, Emiliano.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, hi, my name is Kesav Raipralu. I'm a solution architect here working with Emiliano in the professional services team at Tableau. I've been with Tableau for a little over 2 years now, helping clients automate, write a lot of automation scripts for Tableau Server. Prior to Tableau, I've spent 16 years developing database, web, mobile applications for various clients of mine. But one thing you got wrong in your previous slide is that I'm a huge Seahawks fan. So I think you got a wrong bird, man, out there.
No, go Eagles. Now, Kesav, before we start though, I need one favor from you guys. So as you can tell by my name, I'm from Italy. I'm Italian. And as all Italians, we love our mamas. It's a favorite thing in the world. But there's one thing I need your help with today, and I need your help to fix, is that she doesn't really understand what I do. So what better way to show her than to just take a picture of what I'm doing right now on this cool stage, right? So would you guys be okay with taking a selfie real quick? Yeah?
Let's say cheese.
Thank you. Say ciao. Yeah?
Ciao. Woo!
All right,
Thank you.
So today we'll discuss 3 key areas where you can use automation to help solve your Tableau server administration challenges. Automation for self-service. How can we foster self-service through automation? Automation for scalability. How can we keep your Tableau server scalable, performant, by leveraging automation? Automation for usability. How can we keep the server clean, organized, for your users to enjoy? We'll be showing 3 demos of that, 1 for each. But before we get started, I just want to let you know that this is not an intro session to Tableau. We'll not be talking about the basics of the product, but really about how you can leverage automation to take your Tableau Server Admin to your next level. We'll be going through some technical details and demos, and if you're not technical, that's okay. Don't worry about it. What I want you to take away is that through automation, you can really take your Tableau server and adoption to the next level. Now, the other thing I want you to take away today is that you can reach true Tableau Server Admin Zen. It has been done, and it is possible. And that is through automation. Now, we all know the value of self-service analytics. It has enabled the business to be more self-sufficient and self-reliant, and relieved IT of many of its old duties. But I want to challenge that a bit and ask you, has it really freed IT, or is it posing different challenges that we now have to take care of? An ideal self-service would look something like this, right? Everything's labeled, everything's clean, Everything's organized. There's servers that are constantly restocking the food supplies, and ultimately everybody's having a good time and enjoying the great food. However, many of us know that a lot of times self-service ends up looking a bit more like this. And that does not look like a pleasant experience to me. As you scale your Tableau server and self-service, it becomes more difficult to keep it scalable, to manage it, and to keep it clean, adding that different challenge both to IT and the business. Now we will have 15 minutes towards the end for Q&A. So let's keep our questions for the end.
Okay, let's jump right into the first automation solution, which is automation for self-service, how we can onboard new business units to Tableau in Tableau environment. This is one of the biggest challenges we see in the field. And what is the challenge? Well, in the self-service world, we all know that admin team will be overwhelmed with requests to create new sites, projects, groups, users, etc., for onboarding new business units, new groups into Tableau environment. And this could be challenging. It could be overwhelming. This could also lead to resource bottlenecks and delays without a large team. So we can solve this by adding more members, but we know that it is not scalable. It's not the best approach, right? Also, another important challenge also for us is with the standards, implementation of standards. Every organization has best practices, naming conventions, project structure, etc. And then getting them implemented consistently is also another challenge. And another key to self-service is scaling and scaling to promote the self-reliance. You have to delegate certain business functions back to business, certain admin functions back to business. And this could be a key challenge as well. And let's see how automation can help us. Oh, while manual solutions do available, they are not practical. They are difficult. Well, what is the process? The process is quite simple. What we do is we provide the business owners a user interface where they can enter certain basic parameters related to their environment. And then once they have that, then there is a Python-based executable that would execute in the background and essentially create the environment, like create sites and all for them. Let's look at a bit more into the flow. So a business is provided with a user interface. As I said, it could be anything, web or a mobile client or whatever client. And then the business owner inputs certain parameters, certain business parameters, that will be saved into these new BU settings. And then we can have an approver. It could be Tableau admin, or it could be any other approved approver within the organization who can approve these new settings. And then the Python-based script will read the new BU settings, once the approved BU settings, and then using the Tableau APIs that we have, it will create sites, projects, groups, admins, everybody else, all the other Tableau objects. And then in the end, it will also send an email to the new server admins, welcoming them with the new environment details, maybe some helpful links about the environment and things like that. And then the site admins then can add users so that the business users can access their content. This process, is this process not simple? Let me show you a very, very quick demo. Okay, for this demo, I will be switching roles between a business owner and the admin, so that we can see the full demo. So this is a very basic UI, as I said. This UI could be made more prettier. It could be on different platforms and all. But this is a very simple website. All I have are.
Exit the screen.
Oh,
It's
not
sharing.
seeing?
No.
Can I? Should I exit? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Oop, okay. Sorry about that. So this is a very basic UI. It's a web UI. So I'm coming in as a business owner right now, and I've been given this URL by my IT team. And so here they made it really simple for me. All I need to do is put in certain key information, like let's say I want to call this site to be a demo BU or something else, and then I'm going to provide 2 site admins. Let me add Emiliano, and myself as admins to this site. And then all I have to do is request. So at this time, what's happening is that there is a data store behind which is storing this information, and it has been queued for approval. So when somebody approves it in the background, so let's assume that it's being approved. Sorry. Then here I have my scripts. I'm going to stop my UI script. And I'm going to run this. Oh, prior to this, I want to show you the Tableau server that I'm on. This is the server it would go and create this new site. This has only one default site, doesn't have anything. I just wanted to, I wanted you to see that. And then, now I would go and execute my script. And it's already doing some things. It's going in, if you can see in the bottom, it's creating admins, projects, groups, and it is sending a welcome email. So let's go back to our Tableau web, and then let's see if the new site has been created. So you can see that the new site is created. You can see that because I'm logged in as a server admin, so I can see everything. So now here I can see that it has created the pre-configured projects. And I've created projects for admins, analytics, certified, and sandbox. These have been pre-configured by me. And then if you look at the groups, it did create the groups for explorers, creators, viewers, and admins. And then it also, what it did is it created the 2 users that I've added, 2 of us, and then it added us to the groups. And then, Emiliano, you may have to help me here. Where is that email? This is the email here, right? So you can see that there is an email that came out welcoming me to the new site, and it gives me certain quick guides and training videos and things like that. How is that? Is that simple? Thank you. Let me get back to the presentation here. And then again, you can definitely extend this to other scenarios as well. So you can customize, you can do a lot of different things with it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, right? I think I can definitely see how something like that will be very useful both for our users and business units and our admin to automate. Now, let's look at an example of how we can use automation to improve scalability. This is something I call the queue killer. Who has seen this view before? Right, good. So this is for those of you that haven't, it's the out-of-the-box admin view showing background and task delays. Now, the view simply shows delays in starting jobs like extract refreshes and subscriptions, for example. And if you see the top, where those red dots are, that means there's a huge delay compared to when it was originally scheduled. Now, the reason for this is because backgrounders are single-threaded. That means backgrounders can only do one thing at a time. And when queues are coming, it means that basically we haven't got enough backgrounders to be able to handle all the tasks that are scheduled at that time. So, this is one of the biggest challenges I've seen throughout my career at Tableau in the field. Backgrounder queues cause delays for both data and subscriptions, which in turn put an additional pressure on the admins to be able to fix, justify, or give info on why these delays are happening. Also, the static configuration of our nodes, meaning the number of processes on each node, doesn't really help with the situation. Now, there is a TSM command that allows us to change on the fly the number of backgrounders and VizQLs on any particular node, but just knowing that that command exists doesn't mean we can fix it, because it's still manual. We don't have anybody that's going to be looking at queues and reacting. Who knows what the Golden Gate zipper is? Anybody seen this before? Cool. So it's that machine right there, the yellow one. So I was driving with my family in usual Bay Area traffic, and I saw this for the first time. What it basically does, it reconfigures the number of lanes that go each way. Right? So based on the traffic, it tries to improve the flow by dedicating more lanes to a particular way. And I've told my wife this would be a great idea to go and apply to the Tableau server. Well, I mean, I didn't really tell my wife, which probably wouldn't be really good, but I really did think about it. Now, if we think of that kind of idea of reconfiguring on the fly, let's see how we can apply it to the Tableau server. And it's a really simple two-step process. What we do is we monitor, so we look at the queue, we look at the traffic, and then we can reconfigure their services based on that queue. And let's look at how a detailed flow works. We have a script in the middle, Python script in this case, which goes and fetches the queue and active backgrounders from a published workbook. Now, that workbook is getting data from the Tableau repository. We can get that data out of the Tableau repository. Next, the script will go and send get the current number of backgrounders that are configured on the machine with a TSM command line interface command. At that point, it compares those two numbers to the upper and default limits that we have set into configuration. And based on that, it makes a decision which will then trigger a TSM command, which will tell the Tableau server to change its configuration on the fly. Okay? So let's look at a quick demo of how this works. Now, just FYI, I will be demoing the script, but because it takes a couple of minutes to actually see those changes, what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll explain what's happening in the background while it's running. Right, so I'm going to get on the machine. So right now, as you can see right here where my mouse is, I have two machines, two nodes, and on my second node, I have 4 backgrounders. So that's my default state right now. What I'll do is I will kick off and refresh about 24 extracts at the same time to go and create a huge queue. Now what you see in this view, it will tell us that I have 4 backgrounders that are processing, but I have 20 that are actually queued, and they're pending. And that's those red dots that you see on that view. Now what I'll do is I'll execute my script, picks up the default number of backgrounders, and while that's running, I will go back and explain how this works. So basically what we have the max, which is I've configured in the script to be 8. So I'm going to say on this node, only go to a maximum of 8 backgrounders. The default is 4, which is that blue line. And what I've done now is added a huge queue that goes over that max. Now what the script will do, it will pick up on that queue, and we'll say, okay, well I need to scale up and add 4 more backgrounders on that node. And the more I run that script throughout the day and the queue starts going down, the script will start bringing back down the backgrounders to the default state. Now we don't suggest doing this on all your nodes. We do suggest having a couple of elastic nodes where you can apply this concept to. And now the demo I showed just applies to backgrounders, but you can imagine that you can extend it to apply to VizQLs and backgrounders at the same time. So let's go back to the script and see the number of backgrounders going up. So what you see now is gone from 4 to 8, and now we'll start processing 8 extracts at a time or subscriptions rather than having those in the queue.
Isn't that pretty cool?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that Tableau admins would love this kind of a solution here. So, next up, let's talk a little bit about how we can improve usability with automation. What we are going to talk about is how automation can help clean unused or stale content. What is the challenge with the unused content? Let's see what unused content or the stale content does to your Tableau environment. Well, one of the key things it does is it's going to make your backups bigger and longer because it has to process all these extra workbooks or data sources that need not be processed or not being used. Next up, it's also going to consume your server resources, trying to extract all these or refresh all these extracts at the same time, right? These are, again, not used content. And then lastly, and the most important point is it's going to clutter your end users with a lot of this unused content, and it's not going to help them find what they're looking for. It's not going to make it a very good experience for them. So, well, we can certainly use manual steps or manual tasks to clean them up, and it's possible to do that. The only thing is it takes a lot of time. It's very time consuming, and a lot of resources have to be spent on trying to clean this up. So, which is, again, not a very practical scenario. Let's see how automation can help us in this scenario. So the process in itself, the way we have designed it is that it would have 3 steps. 3 stages to it. Firstly, we'll warn the users, the content owners, of their content not being used consistently. Then we would do archiving. And then if further there is no more action, we are forced to delete that content so that we could free up that space for keep your backups and everything else working correctly. So how do we do this? The process in itself is very simple. All we do is there is a Tableau workbook provided to the Tableau admins where they can actually set these thresholds. So we have 3 thresholds, that the warn threshold, archive threshold, and the delete threshold. You can set them. You can check them out. You can see what workbooks are getting warn notifications or what are trying to be archived. And then when we see that, when you're satisfied, publish that to the server. And when you publish that to the server, a Python-based executable then will read that workbook, read the thresholds, and essentially work its way through, perform all the actions as needed. Let's see how the flow goes. So right in the middle there is the Tableau workbook. It's connecting to the Tableau repository, And then the Tableau admins have access to it. They can set the various thresholds. And then once that is done, the script, the Python-based script, uses a configuration and the Tableau workbook. And then it's going to perform all those actions against the Tableau server or Tableau environment. And it also sends various notifications, like the warning notifications, and every action has a notification that goes out, an email that goes out along with it to the business owners, or business content owners, rather. Let me show you a very quick demo on that. I have to exit this. Let's go back here. So this is the workbook that I'm talking about. It's got unused workbooks here, and here you can see there are thresholds you can set for archiving. Oh boy. For archiving and warning. And then there are other features here. You can define your own archive folder. You can exclude certain projects or whatever. So you can actually check all this out. Another piece of information I want to show here is it's identifying how many of the workbooks have been unused for this. I mean, I set my threshold to be really high for 650 days. Well, practically, I don't think you would be using that big number. You'd probably be using somewhere like 90 days or 60 days. I had to set it up so I could have like a smaller set to work with today for the demo. As I said, it's giving us the number of workbooks, and then it's also telling us how much of the memory or the disk space it could save for us, and then what is the percent and what is the actual disk space as well. And then it gives us information about sites, what kind of action it would perform, and things like that. At this point, I'm all happy with this. So what I would do is I would go back here to my Python, and I would execute this script here, the content cleaner script. And what it is going to do is it is going to archive. It's going to archive. It's going to create those warnings. So it's going to read that, and it's already doing some things for me. And then it's all done with archiving and warning, at least for now. So if we go back to here, we have the archive folder. This is where the archival goes into. And then you can see that it has moved one workbook, and it has named it with, renamed it with the date timestamp to know that it's if you have two workbooks with exactly the same name or something like that, then at least you'll be able to identify within different projects, of course. And we can do something similar for delete as well. Oops, sorry. Let's go back to the same workbook, and here this should show the deletion. Right now it won't show anything because I don't have anything to delete. But if we change this to 0, we should see all the archived folders. So this one is actually looking at your archival folder. So the counter starts when they are moved into the archival folder. It is not from when it was originally published. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And then it's 30 days or however many days. Now if I'm happy with it, I can go save this. Actually, I have to go edit this in web edit. And then save it. And when I save this, now when I re-execute the script, which I won't do right now because I don't want to delete some content here, but when I do that, it will actually go get the list from here, and it will actually delete those workbooks for you. Okay. Now what we have shown you is for workbooks. This can easily be extended to data sources or any other Tableau objects that you want to extend.
Cool.
Thank you.
So we demonstrated 3 working solutions of how automation can help self-service, scalability, and usability. By the way, we will be sharing the code behind these yes. With a promise that review it, because we wrote it, just review it before putting it on production.
Don't put it on production. Don't put it on production. These are just starters. These would help you get started. You could use them. But
yes. Use them as a starting point. Anyway, so we've demonstrated 3 working solutions for self-service, scalability, and usability. And we hope these examples inspire you and give you ideas for how to leverage automation for even other scenarios. We have a few ideas that we actually want to share. We don't have demos for that, but you might be writing that code yourselves. Number 1, one of the biggest challenges for an admin is to optimize the use of server resources, right? And that may be quite difficult with a self-service engine like Tableau, where people can just extract any schedule, okay? Now, how about we create a script that can automatically and dynamically reschedule the extract refreshes frequency based on the usage that is attached to that script, to that extract. A simple example, if I have an extract that refreshes every 15 minutes, but the workbook has been used only once a month, why don't I just automatically reschedule that to be once a month? And all that information is available in the repository. Thank you.
Well, another big challenge is user groups are, there is no synchronization, as we all know, there is no synchronization between users and groups, between an LDAP store and the Tableau server. So what we normally do is we ask you to recreate them or duplicate the users and groups. Well, how about if we have a script that can actually synchronize the two groups? Because it's very easy. I mean, you have to make connections between the 2 ends and have a script sort of read and put them in. Should be very easy.
Another pain point, I think, for admins is subscriptions, right? Because admins don't really know if anybody is actually using those subscriptions or if they're going to a spam box or just completely being deleted. So how about we create a script that requires the user to resubscribe via a button in an email every X amount of time that subscription is run or every X amount of days it's been created for.
Ooh, install. Automated installation. So installing servers in a large cluster is a painful activity. You have to go through installing, then you have to bring in your bootstrap and various things. How about we create an automated script that could actually create your installs, backup, restore as well. We got one more favor to ask from all of you. We already got one favor. We did a favor for Emiliano. So this is for me, maybe. We are a data company. We love your feedback, and we want to take this feedback and improve on what we present next time. So please use your mobile apps to provide feedback for us.
Cool. We look forward to seeing your ideas materialize and come to life on automation and scripting. But really, what we wanted to show you today is that with a bit of investment in time and resources into automation, you can take your Tableau Server Admin days, go from this to this. We're going to now open up for Q&A. There's going to be a mic over here.